Hello YouTube, doing another Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile on the Constellars. This is from the Hidden Arsenal booster pack that just came out recently. So here we go. I got 3 Constellar Pollux. This guy basically is he normal summons another Constellar when he's normal summoned. He lets you normal summon another Constellar when he's successfully normal summoned. So he's like a double summon. So I got 3 of him. He's one of the best ones. I think he's one of my favorite ones. Constellar Xyz. This guy right here is the probably the best one in the archetype. Basically, he can use his effect twice per turn, making he can increase the level of one Constellar by 1, or increase the level and decrease the level of a Constellar by 1. So it lets you get into your Xyz like a wind-up shark. It's like a wind-up shark. So he can go help you get into rank 3s or rank 4s and rank 5s real easily. So I got 3 of those. I got Constellar Leonis. This guy is like Pollux, except that he can get Veilered. Pollux can't be Veilered. As long as he's normal summon, he'll get his effect to let you summon again. But this guy, Leonis, he doesn't. If he's Veilered, yeah, you can't summon again. So, but he lets you get another summon easily. Helps you get into your rank 3s easily when you summon this guy with his effect. Constellar Xyz. This guy is really good only by his effect. Unfortunately, he has only 700 attack points, but it combos very well with Leonis, and lets you you get to add another Constellar from your hand when he's normal summoned. So when you use Leonis, you'll get that +1. I got 3 of this guy, Constellar Xyz. This guy right here is like he's basically like a cyber dragon, and he can special summon himself when your opponent has a monster or more, and then his other effect is like he's like a Tragodia. He can target a monster you control or one in the graveyard, and he can become that level. But it has to be a Constellar, and the only downside is that he can only be used to be for XC summons of Constellar monsters. So I got 3 of him. He's pretty useful, pretty good card. And this guy, right? I got 2 of this guy, Constellar Xyz. He's basically like a Lone Fire Blossom. He's like, it's like a monster reborn, because basically you use the effect of tribute, and then he can target one Constellar from your hand or the graveyard. So you can basically reborn a XC monster that's died earlier in the battle. So it's a pretty good card. It can combo with some other card that I'll talk about later. And I got 1 Honest. This is a light deck, so you gotta have it. It's one of the best light cards in the game. So, Honest. 1. So that's the monsters. Here are the spells. You got Reinforcement in the Army. This card lets you get Pollux, so helps you get that card quickly. I got 3 Tanky. Helps you search out the cost, so you can have hand advantage and get into the XC real quickly. I got 3 of this card, Constellar Star Chart. This card is really pretty amazing. It's a pretty good card. It's basically when a Constellar is special summoned to your side of the field, you get to draw a card, and if you have 3 of them on the field like that, you get to draw 3 cards with the effect. So it stacks. Pretty good card. And if you use that card I talked about, Xyz, to let you special summon one from the graveyard, you get to get a plus from this card, +1. So it's a pretty good card. A lot of people who have this Constellar decks, they don't like to use this. I don't know why. It's a pretty good card. And now we got the main staples and stuff. I got the Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, and Dark Hole. And then we have the 3 MSTs. So that was the spells. Here's the traps. I got Reckless Greed, 2 of them. So to help with draw power, so you can get into your monster, so you can XC real quick. I got 3 Fiendish Chain, very good card. It combos very well with one of the XCs pretty well, and it's pretty good in this deck. Mirror Force, 2 of them. Highly needed. I like this card. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people like to use Torrent of Tribute over this, but I like to use it. And Bottomless Trap Hole. I got 2 of those. I like this better than Solemn Warning, and I like Solemn Warning, but now that there's only one, I'd rather use this instead. I don't like Judgment. So that's the traps, and here's the XCs. I got Constellar Xyz, 2 of them. This card is a pretty good card. You basically can change all the monsters to defense mode that the opponent controls, and the effect is okay, but it really works well with another XC that they have. I'll talk about it later. Here's another one, Constellar Precept. This guy right here is really good too. He basically is like a built-in Honest. He has an Honest effect. So any Constellar that's going to get attacked or is attacking, he can make them gain 1,000. So him, if he can become 3,400. So it's a big beater. And this guy right here is pretty much the boss monster of the archetype, and my favorite one, Constellar Pallades. This guy is awesome. He's like the best guy in the deck. He's just, he controls the whole field. Like, the opponent can almost not do anything if he's on the field. It makes the opponent just Dark Hole, or it's really tough to get around him, because he's basically like a monster form of compulsory. So any card on the field during either turn, he can make them bounce it back to the hand. So this thing combos very well with Fiendish Chain. So if he was about to die, and you have a Fiendish Chain hooked up to a monster, you can use his effect to detach and then bring the Fiendish Chain back to your hand. And you can do the same thing with a Safe Zone or any continuous effect, like even Tenki. So you can reuse the Tenki. So it's really good, this guy. You can use it for your own advantage, or as a defense to get rid of those big monsters the opponent has. So it's a really good card. And then this guy, Constellar Ptolemy M7. This guy right here is really good. Unless you get into it's a rank 6, and when I talked about the other card, Xyz, you can use this. If you have this guy, Xyz, you can basically, overlay this on top of it. So this guy basically can let you overlay any Constellar. You can overlay on top of any Constellar XC you have. And his other effect is he can take any card on the field or in the graveyard on both sides. Your opponent's graveyard or your graveyard, or any card on the field that's a monster, he can make it bounce back to the hand from either graveyard or the field. But you can only do this on your turn. It's not like a quick effect like Pallades. And then if you overlay like this on top of another monster, like that's a Constellar, you can't use that effect. You can only use it the next turn. So this guy right here is pretty good. He lets you reuse your Honest, your old effect Veiler that's in the graveyard. You can get your Pollux and Cos back, so you can XC again, whatever you need. It's almost like a toolbox. And here's some more XCs. You got Wind Up Zen mains to help you. Pretty good card. You got number 30. Number 39 Utopia. Blade Armor. That card is, you can use it to with Pollux, so you can attack twice. Shockmaster. Midnight Pearl. You got Adrius. And Volcasaurus. Awesome card. And that's pretty much the deck profile. So you can rate, subscribe, or make a comment. Alright.